The last 3 years have been a bit of a rollercoaster ride for aspiring architects Sarosh Muller, Cathy O'Shaughnessy, Patrick Liu and James Pearce. After graduating from the University of Auckland, they wanted to maintain their friendship, so they formed a design collective, Oh.No.Sumo. And they've got a lot of work done, all extra to their normal office work. 4 friends having fun with design, but with a positive social influence too.
I think we've all got our own little...
We need to keep the work we do fun, yeah. Absolutely. Because this is, it's not our day job. It is bordering on hobby. And, when you want to get together with your friends and enjoy what you're doing.
Oh.No.Sumo explores many avenues of design, from spatial and web design to product and event design. Within 2 years of coming together, they won 2 awards at the Design Institute of New Zealand Annual Awards last year. They won a gold pin for the Cupcake Pavilion, part of a fundraising project for Starship Hospital.
The Cupcake Pavilion started with an idea to do something for Auckland Architecture Week. And while we were thinking about putting on an event for that, we decided that it would be really good if we could make architecture have a positive social impact.
Laser-cut interlacing cardboard panels were connected to create small cubbyholes. It was prefabricated in a warehouse in Avondale before being transported to Britomart. It attracted public attention in all the right ways. 1,000 cupcakes were sold in 90 minutes, raising over $3,000 for incubator blankets for the Children's Hospital.
It kind of became a really kind of fun event because people kind of got they got our intention that architecture doesn't need to be always really serious. It can be a fun kind of community-based event.
Their other award-winning project, Paper Sky, came about after the group was paired with Pogenpole Kitchens for Urbis Design Day. Paper Sky was a 300 square metre installation made of folded A4 sheets like these, all 20,000 pieces of them.
We're thinking how we would use the space, and it was space divided up by smaller kitchens with a large ceiling height, and we thought we would unite these small spaces with a sort of something that would be suspended from the ceiling.
I think in the way that they didn't try too hard and just created some very innovative projects that used very simple materials in a very clever way, and it's a bit of a cliche, but the sum of the whole was more than the parts, if you like. The total effect at the end was very impressive.
Paper Sky was used during the 2010 New Zealand Fashion Week and was also featured on the cover of design magazine Urbis.
To see, walking down the supermarket aisle and you see the magazine on the shelf and you think, wow, actually, I had something to do with that. Then you really feel the self-satisfaction, I think, which is important because that's what drives you to keep on designing in the future. And, through the projects, they're really tough and you have to really dig deep to try and get them completed. But afterwards, then you know that your hard work's paid off.
It's a feeling of accomplishment that's come from years of dedicated work as a team. The group's former lecturer, Andrew Barry, recalls how they organised a student magazine back in university.
It's a kind of little collection of the work that the students were doing, which is quite an innovative thing to do. No students had ever done anything like that before in the school. But the amazing thing is that how well they seem to work as a team, complementing each other's strengths.
Coming together has been a challenge with all of them having full-time jobs, so it's a matter of making time rather than having it.
So Oh.No.Sumo has been great in giving us an opportunity to test what we've learnt from our practices and also to try things outside of the practices without having the same risk attached as when you're designing a multi-storey building. But I think it's more about being fresh in ideas. And that doesn't necessarily need to be outside of the office. It's just something that started outside the office.